exchanges.
Welcome back. You're still tuned into Trading Hour on CNBC-TV18. The fertilizer subsidy bill for FY23 is expected to be over 2 lakh crore rupees. Earlier this week, Prashant caught up with Fertilizer Secretary Arun Singhal to discuss a range of issues. He said prices of key fertilizers have in fact fallen, adding that Nano Urea is making inroads in the supply chain and more efficient than normal urea. Let's listen into what he had to say.
Because of geopolitical considerations in the world and various factors, the subsidy amount has gone up. And it's always a challenge for the government to find funds. But it's a question of priorities. If farmers occupy the highest priority for the government, then the government will ensure that funds are made available. And that has been happening so far. Even though prices have gone up internationally, the government has chosen to increase the subsidy burden and not to burden farmers. So as I said, the government is fully committed to ensure that sufficient, adequate supply of fertilizer is available to farmers, and it is available at reasonable rates. That commitment is there, and therefore that will translate into action on the funds front also. So I don't foresee any problems. If there is a further requirement funds, we will be going to Finance Ministry, and we have been assured that whatever is required would be provided. It's very difficult to give a number right now because the prices of gas will fluctuate. We don't know what the prices are going to be in January, February and March. And urea, as you know, largely depends on the prices of gas. So we don't really know how much the subsidy burden is going to be. Similarly, the prices of potash and the prices of phosphatic fertilizers also keep on changing. So it's difficult to put a number to it. So prices are coming down, and that applies to phosphoric acid, rock phosphate, everything. So we do hope next year there will be a lesser subsidy burden. And the other important thing, of course, is that we have Nano Urea now, which is part of the supply chain. So next year the manufacturing capacity of Nano Urea will go up. We plan to make about 17 crore bottles of Nano Urea, which are equivalent to roughly 75 lakh metric tons of urea. So that also would contribute to reducing the subsidy burden. We are hopeful for a substantial reduction. Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of takeaways from that interesting interview, but let's stay with the fertilizer industry. We are now joined by Kishor Rungta, who is the chairman and MD of Fertilizers and Chemicals Travancore, that is FACT, to discuss the key sectoral trends and the outlook for the business as well. Mr. Rungta, good morning. Thanks a lot for joining us. Well, you heard the Fertilizer Secretary, a bit of it, of course. We'll ask you more on that, but first up, I wanted to understand how the demand on ground is right now and how much have fertilizer prices fallen from the top, and what is the current trend as far as raw material pricing is concerned?
Well, as far as the demand is concerned, you know very well that our country needs almost 6 lakhs metric tons of all type of fertilizer put together. And since these are the Kharif seasons, we need around 3.5 lakhs metric tons of fertilizer. The country has enough materials in the field. Right now, there is no scarcity of the material. Whatever you say, the urea, DAP, MOP, and NPK, NPKs, and SSP. The government is taking all adequate steps to make sure that the fertilizer is available. Of course, as you said correctly, that the fertilizer prices have shot up like anything. But now gradually we found that last couple of months, the prices are now falling down. Now, but it is very, very high. And that is why the government of India for the year 22-23 is giving the fertilizer subsidy to the tune of 2.28 lakhs crore, which is far, far more than what government of India has given in the past.
Okay.
That is primarily to control the price, so that the increased raw material price should not be passed on to the.
Mr. Rungta, yes, we do get that, because that is something that the Fertilizer Secretary also told us, that they are giving the fertilizer companies higher subsidy. But wanted to understand generally, if the demand is high, what kind of outlook in terms of growth do you have for the second half? First half was decent for you. What was the volume growth then, and do you expect it to continue in the second half as well? And you did say that fertilizer prices have fallen from the highs. How much have they fallen, and raw material pricing trends as well?
No, see, if you see the price fallen, it is not very deep fall is not there. But the price is in the decreasing trend. When I say decreasing trends, as compared to the price which was prevailing, say, in the month of August, September, the price has come down by 10 to 15%. And now for phosphoric acid, which has gone up very drastically, very high, to $2,050 per metric ton. Now it has come down to $1,500 per metric ton. And we are expecting for the first quarter of 2023, it may further fall down. So the prices are in the decreasing trend. But for the, we cannot define it percentage wise because it keeps fluctuating. In some month it comes down, and in some month it again picks up. But by and large, we can say that the price is in the downward trend. So hopefully,
yeah, no, got that. Mr. Rungta, just a couple of points. You know, in that interview with the fertilizer secretary, we spent a lot of time talking about this nano fertilizer. He said that the Nano Urea has already been rolled out, and he spoke about how it is super effective. I mean, you know, one bag of urea translates to 100 bottles of Nano Urea, and each bottle is as effective as a bag of urea. So efficiency is 100 times, is what he told us. Could you tell us, I mean, what you are seeing on the ground?
Oh, that's it. That's correct. Because since the Nano Urea has been introduced in the market, we are able to push the materials to the farmers. See, when you introduce the new product, it takes little time to penetrate into the market. So we have developed the Nano Urea, and now we are in the process of developing Nano DAP also. Because when we say one bottle of Nano Urea is equivalent to one bag of urea, so it means that when I sell the Nano Urea, the government need not to give the subsidy, because it is a highly cost effective. So that is where government is putting an eye that if more and more Nano Urea is sold in the market, so much quantum of urea will be reduced, where the government is giving almost 80% subsidy.
Yes. Has it already started? Quantum of subsidy on urea has it already? Because the secretary told us that by 2020, by 24-25, about 2/3 of urea can be replaced with Nano Urea. So
that's true.
Yeah.
See,
but as of now, is it already started? Subsidy. I mean, subsidy to be paid out to companies lower?
No, as I told you, since it is a very new product,
okay,
it is recently, definitely it needs a lot of marketing to be done, because we have to understand our farmers that Nano Urea is equally good as good as urea. So, you know, acceptability of the Nano Urea may take some time, but once it is accepted.
Yeah, Mr. Rungta, is it as effective though? Because I got a lot of viewers wrote in, who, you know, some agricultural experts, some farmers who are on the ground, saying that, well, you know, asking us to verify whether this efficacy of 100 times is actually true, is actually correct. Can you tell us if? Yeah, go on.
See, the effectiveness of the Nano Urea, as I told you, one bottle of Nano Urea is equivalent to one bag of urea.
Yeah.
One bag urea consists of 45 kg. And this Nano Urea is 500 ml. So what we said, that effectiveness will be the same, whether you put one bag of urea or whether you put one bottle of Nano Urea. But only the application of Nano Urea is little complicated, because we have to spray it through drone or by some sprayer. So that is where farmers it will take some time for the farmers to change from the eventually what they have been doing.
So they need to invest in equipment, etc., to get this going, and will.
No, that also government is planning, that the fertilizer company will assist the farmers.
Okay.
That we will provide the drone also, and we will also provide the agencies who will be doing this job for the farmers.
Sorry, what is needed to spray this? You said.
The Nano Urea, when it's a liquid form, you have to spray.
Right.
This cannot be applied just like that. It has to be sprayed on the field. So there, where drone will be required.
Drone. You say drone. Drone.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I mean this, but to achieve wider rollout, I mean, as you said, it's a little complicated, right? So you'll have to.
Not complicated. See, number one, Nano Urea has been developed. Number two, drone manufacturing has also increased. Now, IFCO, if you see the IFCO, they are taking this responsibility that they will facilitate the farmers whenever they want to spray the Nano Urea in the field. But IFCO is there to assist them also. Similarly, over a period of time, all other fertilizer companies will make this help to will give this type of services to the farmers. That is the ultimate objective of the government of India.
Okay, so we take that point, but of course, the execution and usage of this particular product is something that will have to be watched out for, because it is a new product, as you said, and there are some technical aspects to usage as well. Last question before we let you go, Mr. Rungta. What is the outstanding subsidy for you from the government? How much are you yet to receive, and what is the total amount expected for FY23 for your company?
See, I will tell you, because now I found in the last 1 year and 1.5 years, government is very much prompt to release the subsidy. If you see my company, I say as far as my company is concerned, now my subsidy liability has come down. It is hardly 150, 200 crore rupees outstanding as on today. If you see 3 years before or 4 years before, it used to be little higher amount. But even though subsidy amount has increased, government is making sure that working capital should not be a constraint for the fertilizer companies. And that is why regularly subsidy is being released.
Okay, all right. Because we did speak to some other companies like Chambal Fertilizers. They were of the opinion, yes, this time around there has been a delay because of the way gas prices are going higher. But for you, you're saying that 150 to 200 crore rupees and you're expecting to receive it very soon.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
certainly. Government is releasing the fund very promptly.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Rungta, for joining us and giving us all those details. That's the word coming in from fact. Yes, new products being introduced in the fertilizer space, but execution is something that we'll have to watch out for. Let's do one thing, slip into a short break. Up next, the founders of Infosys meet to mark the 40th anniversary of its founding. We get your excerpts from our chat with the founders on the other side.